And we are now live. What's going on, guys? Welcome in to the Wade's Ventures YouTube channel. I feel like it's been forever. I've been gone all this week, guys. Typically, I'm on here 5 days a week, it seems like. So welcome in, guys. We have a fantastic show for you guys. Not only a really great show, we're giving away one eBay ticket, but I also have a very special guest of mine, somebody that I will definitely be drinking some alcoholic beverages with in Vegas, and somebody I would love to meet in real life. And I just want to say I appreciate everybody coming in chat. Let me give a few shout outs, then we will introduce. I think you guys have an idea who my guest is, and then we'll get started. So guys, welcome in. What's going on, Hickory? Hey, thank you for sharing my Poshmark closet, guys. I'm like 2 inches away from getting an ambassador. What's going on, my Thrifty Santa? What's going on, buddy? What's going on, my admin? What's going on? So, guys, welcome in. We have a lot of cool people in here. Key Lime Kisses, the artist, is in here. Cindy, what's going on? So, guys, welcome into chat. So, as you know, we have a great show tonight. I'm going to go ahead and let my guest introduce himself. And if you guys have any questions or any comments, put them in chat as we get going. But without further ado, go ahead, my man.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you, Wade, for having me here on the Wade's Ventures channel. First time ever I've been on Wade's channel, so amazing. I see a ton of very familiar faces. Those of you guys not familiar with me, I am Casey the Rockstar Flipper, YouTube, social media, the whole shebang, eBay, Amazon seller, and as of last week, now Poshmark seller. I haven't actually sold anything yet, but eventually. No, we're working on it. We just got up 25 listings, so we're on our way. Hi to a ton of people. I mean, I seen Jonathan Bubba. I seen Lindsay Holland, who her and I have known each other for eons, I feel like. I don't want to make us sound old, but Lindsay is one of the OGs. Adam and Connie and everybody else is in the chat. Melissa, thank you guys for having me here on Wade's channel. And I can't wait. I'm excited. I've been excited since Thursday when we announced this. And I think we have, me and Wade just spoke, we have a winner. And I think we have a good one. So I can't wait to get to it.
Guys, this is the moment that everybody's been waiting for. Not only do we have Casey on our channel, and I'm super blessed to have him on here. He had me on his. If you guys haven't seen that, go check it out. I think it was an amazing interview and slash a really cool giveaway information for today. But guys, those of you who don't know, me and Casey came up with a game plan to give one eBay ticket away to somebody in need. And I guess using in need is not a great word for it, but helping somebody go to the eBay Open 2018 event and meet amazing people, kind of help with a little bit of the cost. And we have a really cool winner to share with you guys. And that was really the big thing when we got together, is to come up with somebody that we thought that would be a really good fit to go to eBay Open. And I'm going to let Casey, without further ado, we'll get this out of the way and then we'll do our interview with Casey. I'm going to let Casey kind of go over who won, and it's going to be a fantastic time. Hopefully, if you guys have any questions too, put it in chat. But Casey, go ahead and give the audience here some information on who won.
Absolutely. So I went through somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 total comments between the YouTube video and social media that was on the Facebook post that I posted. And I really went through, there was quite a few people who already purchased their tickets, or people who lived in Vegas who had no cost. And I really wanted to give somebody who I knew could benefit from this. And I found an awesome young lady, and I hope that she responds. I really want her to be able to go. If she doesn't, we'll figure something out. But her name is Kathy Coates. And Kathy is the married mother of two, I believe, two adorable little children. She's from St. Cloud, Minnesota, and I've seen Kathy on quite a few times. She is married to a gentleman, and I apologize, I don't know his name off the top of my head, I can't remember, but he serves our military, I believe in the Air Force, if I'm not mistaken. And her little kids, she has one little boy and one little girl, adorable, amazing, cute, beautiful family, and she is a seller, and I really, really hope that she can attend. I'm going to show you guys this one picture that I have of their family. And she is a follower of mine. Hopefully this will zoom up and show you guys. This is Kathy and her husband now with their two little munchkins right there. And then I'm going to show you guys, this is an older picture of them. I believe. I don't know how much older this is. This has to be like the dating age, right? So there he is in the uniform. That's an Air Force uniform, right? My brother's was in the Air Force. I should know that. Does that look like Air Force?
That is. I couldn't tell you actually. My brother was in the Air Force though. So
yeah, my brother was in the Air Force for 20 years, and I don't know. It looks like wings on his thing. Does that look like wings right there?
Yeah, I think he probably is.
I think it is. So she'll tell me for sure, 100%. I wish I knew better, but Kathy appeared to be the best fit. She responded to our video in the comment section, letting me know how much she would love to learn, how much she would love to be there, and hopefully she gets to go. Again, we'll figure out something if she can't. Kathy, I linked the video to you. I messaged you. I sent you this video link. Whenever you see it, whenever you watch it, I tried to get her available to me now. If she messages me before we go off, I will do my best to get in touch with her. But Kathy, I think you'd be amazing to be in Vegas. We'd love to have you. We'd love to have your husband. Thank you to him for his service, whether he's in the Air Force or not, I'm not sure. But thank you, whatever branch he's in. And if you can bring him, awesome. If you come by yourself to party in Vegas with me and Wade, we'll take care of you. We'll send you back to your husband in one piece. We promise.
Guys, first and foremost, congratulations, Kathy. I think it's really cool to not only get a cool winner to come to Vegas with us, but the fact that he is in the military, the husband's in the military, it's going to be fantastic. So I think it's a really cool candidate to come. And guys, if you're going to eBay Open, let me know in chat because I'm really curious of those who possibly is going to eBay Open. But really cool, Kathy. Super excited to not only talk with her, get her the ticket, but really cool that she's got military in the family. I've got military in my family. Casey's got military in his family. So really, really cool stuff. So guys, let's get into this interview. So this is something that, as you guys know, and he's smiling right now because you're lucky, Casey. If I wasn't a little bit under the weather and the fact that I haven't slept much in the last 2 days, I would, man, if I was sharp. No, I'm really excited for this, guys. As you know, I was on Casey's live show, and I told everybody to email me questions to ask him.
Oh, no, really? I forgot about that part.
So not only did we want to kind of introduce the winner of, the free ticket to eBay Open, but we also wanted to use this as an opportunity to interview Casey and get to know him as a person and a reseller. And that's kind of one thing that we do on my show Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. Those of you who don't know, I invite amazing, cool people, and we ask them personal questions and reselling questions. So without further ado, guys, I'm going to jump into this. If you guys have any questions for Casey, I will definitely answer them, or he'll answer them. He's way more knowledgeable than I am. So guys, let's get into this. Casey, my man, I've got a list of questions up here on my screen. But
I told Wade to get some ones, not just to be nice, but now I might be regretting it. I'm not sure.
I've got some interesting questions here, but we're going to start off with some easy ones.
Let's do it.
So, 1 second. Wait, did you get your box truck? Guys, real quick, update on the box truck. I got back literally 2 hours ago. I was texting with Casey on my phone before we got here. And box truck is here. I'll do an update video on it. But man, is it sweet? Is it sweet? I can't wait to do some storage units, guys.
I'm a little jealous of the box.
Oh, yes. Oh, you mentioned before the show that you're possibly, a few years back looking to buy one.
Yeah, we looked into it several times for just the amount of stuff you can carry and being able to buy other things, not just thrift stores, but also like being able to buy bigger items. So, it's a great opportunity. I can't wait to see the videos you come out with and the stuff that you buy. So, should be good times.
Well, guys, and real quick before we get into these questions, me and Casey, I didn't get a commitment from him yet, but I am going to be sending him the beef ramen suits via Amazon today. And so we're going to do a little collab. I promise you we'll do a little collab.
Ramen noodles in Vegas?
Oh, yes. Dude, that would get 1 million hits, first of all.
In the casinos?
Like, yes. You would get. We need some people filming behind us, though. The looks that we're going to get.
I got it. I got people. We're good.
Okay, let's do it. I'm going to send you the beef one tonight, though. But, guys, just so you know, I've got some videos popped up for the ramen. We're going to do a collab. I thought about doing some dumpster dive videos in the ramen suit. So it's gonna be good.
Dumpster diving and ramen noodle suit.
Yes.
Wade's on his way to like 50 million views like next week. Are you kidding me?
Casey, real quick, are you now? Each state is different for dumpster diving. What is the state of Florida like? Is it legal, illegal?
It's legal. So there are two things in Florida. So Florida's got if a visible private property sign is posted, you cannot, which is most strip malls. If it is an independent store and there's no lock on the dumpster, you are allowed. The locked dumpsters and the publicly posted private property signs are no-goes. Otherwise, if there's no sign within view and there's no lock, you're fair game. Feel free to check that, but I did a lot of research. I don't like to plug other people when I'm in the group, but there's a YouTuber, big time, 2 million subscriber guy who lives in this area. His name is Omar Gosh. He does the most amazing dumpster dive videos in Florida, and this guy knows his stuff. It is incredible what he finds. So you can check him out, but dumpster diving in Florida, it's a go.
Guys, it's one of my passions of mine to go dig and trash, especially it's going to be, but I haven't done it. So Oregon will literally, you'll spend a night in jail for dumpster diving in Oregon.
Really?
From what I understand. Oh yeah. They're pretty strict. But in Washington, they're less strict, which is only 45 minutes from me. So I may go there and dumpster dive. We have a question for Casey. Did you ever bid on that storage unit?
Yeah, so I did videos about storage units, but I have bought many storage units in my life. Pre-TV show, when the TV show happened, the auction prices went through the roof. A lot of people showed up. It was harder to get things. I started to move over to the online auctions for the storage units, which we did buy a couple of. And I had a live show about some. I showed people how to do, like how they work, the photos, how to bid, and all that. I did bid on several of them. A couple went through the roof. One of them we had a chance at, and I thought I won it, and I showed up there the next day, and the owner of the storage unit paid for it before the end of the night. We ended up not getting it because they didn't. When you were the winner, you showed up and used your credit card. When I showed up to pay for it, it was like $175. It was gone. So there was nothing I could do. I had some live viewers who wanted me to do like the unveiling on video, but I didn't get it. So yeah, I want to try again though. I definitely do.
So little tip on that, guys. That's really common. And I buy a lot of storage units. Those who don't know, that's one reason why I got the box truck. But if online, and I think Casey's referring to Storage Treasures, which is probably the premier #1 site to use. But so if Casey or myself buys one from there, what happens is if you buy one, the buyer technically, when you do online, can pretty much pay for their stuff up until the point that you get there and you pay for yourself. A little different than live. I mean, once the auction goes live and in person, typically, I haven't seen, they get a window, and then once it goes live, unless they're actually bidding on their unit, it's pretty much done for at that point. But online storage auctions, they have a lot of time to do that until you pretty much arrive. I know some buddies that drove a long way to get their storage locker, and then come to find out the owner paid for their bill. So it's common. But guys, okay. So that will bring me into my first question, Casey. And those of you and yourself, I like to get to know the reseller, and that way, because everybody knows you as the reseller, but I want them to know you as a person. And so tell me, rewind the tapes a little bit. Tell me kind of how it was. Like, when did you first start selling on eBay? When was the moment that you decided to sell on eBay? And explain that to us.
Okay, so without getting into too long of a story, I have lived in Florida since 2004. So we're going on 14 years this summer. I'm originally from Maryland, just north of Baltimore. My parents retired after I graduated high school, which would have been 2003. Yes, I've been out of school for 15 years. My high school's having a 15-year reunion. Everybody shut up. I lived in Maryland without my parents for a year, 2003 to 2004, when they moved down here. And honestly, nothing against anybody who might be from Maryland. There was no opportunity. I was nothing. I didn't do anything. I worked some odd jobs that my dad had left me when he left. And I moved to Florida. I called my parents and said, listen, I just want to sell my car. I want to sell everything I have and just move to Florida and give it a shot. And so I did. And I was, 19, almost 20 years old. And I moved in with my parents at 20 years old and said, I need to make money. And I found a fabulous website called Craigslist. And at the time, this is how long ago Craigslist was, there was no electronic section. It didn't exist. There was no cell phone section. They were in like 4 categories. Literally, when you open Craigslist, it was like, do you want to buy something? Click here. That was it. And so I used Craigslist to buy and sell. I bought some tools. I bought some odds and ends, some little bar stools that I flipped, I remember. I got into Magic the Gathering cards, which were amazing to buy on Craigslist. I would buy out people's collections, but I couldn't really sell them. I could never flip them. And that's when I found Craigslist. So this was the summer of 2005. And I listed my first Magic cards. We would get orders through money orders. We'd get payment through money orders. We would mail the cards in envelopes inside of little like card holders. And I believe that first summer I sold a couple $1,000s worth of Magic cards. And I was saving up money to eventually, what I did was bought a car so I could go out and buy more stuff. Because I was having people, I learned the tactic of telling people that the halfway point between me and wherever they lived was the gas station on the corner near my parents' place. So that no matter what, I could meet them 2 seconds away. Because I either had to walk or I had to borrow my parents' car. So that was me at 19 and 20 years old. And that's when my eBay life started. I still have that eBay personal account to this day. It's 11 years old now. If you click on it, it says signed up in 2006 or 2007. And it has like 5,000 feedback. Of course, I have a business one now that has 5,000. So I have like 10 or 11,000 combined eBay feedback. But that's how I got started. That was the whole shebang.
First of all, I did see your post on Instagram of your mom wearing the Mama's Rockstar shirts. I think that was awesome. First, you got that for your mom, but your mom rocked that extremely well.
She had that airbrushed, yeah.
Did she? Oh,
I got her the Rockstar shirt for the pink, and she's like, I need Mom on it. I'm like, what do you want me to do? And she's like, I'm going to airbrush her. I'm like, really? I'm like, 3 days later, she messaged me. I'm like, get out of here.
That's professional looking.
I know. It did a good job.
So tell me a little bit about your parents. First of all, your mom used to work or help you out, right? But let's go before that. I'm curious to know, like, how's your mom and your immediate family helped you in your reselling? Like, it seems like they're extremely supportive.
Yeah. So my parents. I have an older brother. Those of you that don't know, he's 10 years older than me. He'll be 43 this year. In August. I'll be 33 in June. So they always had somebody older than me. My brother did 23 years in the military in the Air Force here in Tampa, retired back here in Tampa. He lives here now. My parents have been married for 33 years. And so my dad was military 23 years as well, same as my brother. My dad did half Marines, half Army. And then they retired here. So my dad's retired military, and after the military, he did contracting. My dad worked for the Army Corps of Engineers and also in other things for the military. So he had a background in construction and building and things like that. So that's what he did after his time. He did that in Maryland, worked for a company that remodeled buildings and apartments and whatnot, moved to Florida, did it here for a while, and then just retired, basically. My mom has a background in medical and working in labor and delivery and NICU, so the neonatal intensive care unit for small babies, little premature. So that's what she did her whole life. And so once they moved here, I moved in. Obviously, I'm a 20-year-old moving into my parents after being on my own for a year. They're like, you got to do something. You can live here. You're only 20. At the time, remember, in 2006, 2007, that was the beginning of the collapse. No one had any money. Time. Yeah, it was a bad time. It was hard for a 20-year-old to move out on your own. Like, for me to get an apartment at 20 was like, forget it. Like, that's not happening. I didn't get my first apartment until I was 24. I started, really making some money around 21, 22. And I don't mean making money, but like making enough money to pay a bill, to buy a car, to get a car payment, to get out of my parents' place by the time I was 23, 24 years old. And that's what they didn't care what I did. But, I went to college when I was 18, 19, 20. I went to the University of Maryland, Baltimore County and Anne Arundel County, and I dropped out of business school because the professor was 40 years, never owned a business. And I was like, what are you going to teach me about owning a
Right.
business? You've never owned one.
Yeah.
And so I quit. And that's when I did the odd jobs, and they moved away, and I came back and they were like, are you going to go to college in Florida? Are you going to get a job? What is it that you're going to do? And I was like, I'm going to sell stuff off Craigslist. And they were like, what the,
Yeah.
what is wrong with you? And so I told my mom, I said, I know you're having a heart attack, but trust me, just trust me. And it was sometime in the next 6 to 12 months that I met a very good friend of mine who's in the sales business. At the time, he probably did a couple $100,000 to $1 million a year. He currently does 15 to 20 million a year. A friend of mine to this day, 11, 12 years. A lot of you know him, Drive Time with Dave. But that's when I got my education in sales, and I took my little couple $100 a week up to like making money to where I was able to get a car, I was able to get an apartment, I was able to do everything that I've done. And I've had him for 11 years to say, hey, I've got this crazy idea. And he says, you're an idiot, or hey, go for it. So that's where I got started. My parents did not support it right away. They thought I should get a job, but I said, trust me. And they trusted me. And so now here we are.
So that is really common. So tell me a little bit about the, now your brother went into the, he went into the armed forces, right? Now, was that ever like an idea for you? Because your dad was there and your brother was there. Like, did you ever think about doing that?
No. So my dad and brother, military life, like God love them. They both did 23 odd years. I respect them both for it, and I respect everyone who's done it. I will never talk about anyone who's taken that choice. But my opinion on that is you're limited. It's respectable, and it's what you choose to do. I could have made it back in, my 20, 21, 22-year-old days. I ran marathons and 12-mile things. I could have made it, no problem. I chose not to do it because I wanted more. And I don't mean that the military doesn't provide a living and insurance and benefits and all that. It's just that I wanted to know that if I failed or if I made it, it was because of what I did and not because of what somebody else had for me or had ready for me or planned for me. I'm going to make $1 million, or I'm going to make $1 and go down in a burning heap of fire. Like, there's nothing in between for me. It's here or here. And that's how I've always lived. I'll take every chance known to man. Any of you that know my history know that I'll take every chance. I will go out. I don't care if you call me. Obviously I look into everything and I do my due diligence, but I will go blazing into everything. And so that's just the way I've always lived. And for me, the military was kind of a set course. Like, you knew what you were getting with the military. You know how much you're going to make, where, what you're up to, your maximums, your promotions. It just, there is no higher standard for the military. Yeah, you can become an officer or do better things, but it's not me. I have to be in charge. I have to be in control. Does anyone understand the being in control thing?
So you are I could be wrong, but you're an entrepreneur, right?
I am. By heart, I want to make it on my own. I want to be the one that decides whether I'm successful or not. I can't rely on anyone or anything. I can't be in debt. I can't owe people anything. I can't, sure, I use credit cards and this and that, and I've used PayPal loans, but I can't let anyone else decide my life. Like, I have to do me. That's all I've ever been. Ever.
So this brings me to my next point. What, and I'll get to a question in chat too, because this kind of relates to that. So what the people outside your immediate family, and I'm really curious because sometimes when I go up to people and I, they're like, hey, what do you do? Before I can be like, hey, I'm in the corporate world. Now I sell on eBay and I get this blank, like, weird stare. Like, first of all, people are like, wow, eBay's still here. And then I get that, or I'll get, can you say that again? Like, they don't believe me. So what is your extended friends, family, or acquaintances when you say you sell online? What's their reaction?
I tell them I sell on Amazon because people take Amazon more seriously. No, you're right. People doubted me even after, when I moved in with my parents. It was a long shot, whatever. When I finally got my apartment and I moved out and I got a pretty decent car to start. I got like some convertible Mustang. It was like a 96. For what it was, for me being 21 years old, it was like awesome. I got this Mustang. I dropped the top. I'm driving to Clearwater. Like, I was on it. I'm like, yeah, top of the world. Meanwhile, I'm making like $600 a week or something. And I'm like, you know what? I got this. I got it. I had like a $700 apartment or something. And So at that point, my mom's like, okay, he figured out how to make some money. And like my family figured like, oh, he's just going to be some normal guy. And then at some point I remember where I left my apartment and we went to this condo that was a nicer area, and we upgraded and I moved into it. And it was, people were like, oh, you live in that neighborhood. Like, oh, okay. You're doing okay. And I was like, yeah, we're doing pretty good. And then I bought a Hummer. I'll never forget this. I bought a Hummer and I picked up family at the airport, and they were like, oh, you're driving a Hummer. Remember, we're talking 10 years ago. People were like, a Hummer, what?
Oh yeah.
So don't let it fool you guys. I bought it and gas was $2.50 a gallon. A year later, it was $4.50 a gallon. I got rid of the Hummer. Trust me, got rid of it. But it was that point that, you know, I posted some pictures online. I had this Hummer. I was really proud of what I did. I used the Hummer to go to auctions and storage auctions and pack this thing to do what I did. So the first picture I posted of the Hummer, it had like 8 pallets of stuff shoved in this thing. And it was an H3. It was the family style Hummer. And, you know, people are like, what's up with your Hummer? What are you doing to it? I'm like, that's how I make money. That's what I do for work. And they started to really ask questions and understand it. And they didn't take me seriously completely, but they started to get it, where they were like, wow, he buys stuff and sells. And I'm like, yes, it's amazing. I don't think it was until years and years later when I bought my house and I bought my current car and I took my family on vacation and I paid for dinners. And then they were like, whoa, like, wow, like that's crazy. And so that's it. It's unfortunate, but a lot of people in your life, be it family or friends or supporters or not supporters, no one takes you seriously until you prove it. Is that everyone's experience? I don't know.
I would agree. And do you have any tips to, like, I get that, like, it's all about action, right? To get your family, because there's a lot of people that I've talked to that their husband's not on board, but they want to resell and vice versa. Like, what's a couple tips that you can give, or a tip that you can give somebody that's trying to get their spouse or their family on board with reselling?
Okay, first I want to shout out, before I say that, I just noticed Farm Girl Scavengers in your chat. Did you saw what happened? Yeah. So wishing all the best over that direction. For those of you that don't know, is on my Instagram. A very terrible, was a lawnmower exploded or just the gas?
I think it was a spark. Farm Girl, she was the first interview I ever did on my YouTube channel. And like, man, if you've seen those photos, and you have, Casey, they were pretty bad.
I shared, yeah.
So hopefully you're feeling better, because I've seen some of even the recent ones, and the recent ones look worse than the first ones.
And that's and I'm glad you pointed it out. The more graphic photos are actually a good sign, because that's the healing. It gets worse before it gets better. And so it was a very good sign to see the healing going on. I saw the story, and I know that she was in a shed or garage area, and correct, I think her son or stepson was there with her, but the gas hit the hot floor, and the flashpoint was enough that it caught her on fire. So we had to GoFundMe. I shared out on my Instagram account. I don't know if it hit the mark, but I hope it did enough to help out there, because she was down and out. So it was gruesome. But it's great to see the progress that you've made. So I had to make sure I just saw your name in there. I wanted to say that to you. Feel better for sure. I couldn't imagine.
I think the GoFundMe, guys, if you guys want to support, and I would really appreciate it if you do. But if you can't, well wishes will do just fine. But I think she's only like 250 from the mark.
Oh, okay.
And then she'll hit it. So if you guys want, I'll link the GoFundMe, or you can go to Instagram, and it's the first link on my link tree. You guys can click that and see if you can
support. And I linked it to Instagram as well. So either way you get to it, doesn't matter. It's all the same link. Just try to hit that goal for tonight, guys. I'll share it again in the other in the big Facebook group before the end of the night. So tips let's jump back over. Tips to telling people, you know, like family, husbands, significant others, what you're doing and to support it. A question I get a lot, and that is a great question. Show them your successes, show them your wins, show them show them other people who are successful, other people who do what you do. There are losses, things happen, you lose money, you spend money. Don't hide anything from anyone, but show them what you do to win. Show them when you make a $50 sale that made $40 profit, or show them when you buy an awesome item for $2 that you're going to list for $60, or show them when you get top rated seller, or when you hit Posh Ambassador, or any of these marks, keep them up to date, keep them in the know. Because one thing I've learned a long time ago, this was a lesson I learned the hard way, and I won't get into it, but the less that somebody knows, the more that they doubt you. The more that someone knows, the more they can support you. And so it doesn't mean tell everyone your whole life, but what it does mean is let somebody know. And so I kind of compare this to like a marriage. Like if a husband and wife don't share finances or bank accounts or anything or any of that, that's fine. But make sure that everyone is in on the story. Make sure everyone knows what's going on. If you want your husband to support you, or you want your mother or your sister or whoever to support you, even if you had a business partner for that matter, everyone has to know what's going on. Everyone has to be a part of it. So I do consignment for a couple of people, for 2 people in particular. And we create spreadsheets weekly that are shared through Google Docs. And at any time, I'm in possession of the merchandise and they're possession of the money. Because remember, they bought the merchandise and I'm selling it for them. And they are able to log in and see exactly where we are on sales. Are we making money? Are we losing money? Are we even? Are we profiting? Are we spending too much on this? What are we spending on that? They can see everything. Share the info. Make sure everyone knows what's going on. If you get to the point where you have to hide stuff, lie, or not tell someone, then stop trying to get them to support your cause. You're only going to get someone to support your cause through being honest, period.
I think that's huge. Transparency is one thing that I'm a big fan of, and that's huge. Awesome tip. All right, so we kind of know the beginning now. Tell me a little bit about the present. Like, I know you have a fiance, right? You guys are looking to get married. But tell me how you met her. Yeah. Tell me, give me all the information on that. Like, how did you guys meet? Did you guys buy that house together before? Like, give us the lowdown on the fiance. She's in the room right now, and she is pretty amazing.
No, she's on the other side of the wall, but I'm sure she could hear me. I'm watching the hockey game right now. In case anybody wants to know, we are winning 3-1, by the way, Wade. So it's good.
Nice.
We're from Tampa, and we're big hockey fans. Tampa Bay Lightning in the Eastern Conference Finals. She's from Minnesota, which is a bigger hockey town than here. Her brother's a pro-am hockey goalie who actually has goaltended for many pro hockey players. Jonathan Taves might be one of them that you might know. And so I'm going to give away my age here. We met on MySpace.
Yeah. That is that still going? Is that still a thing? That was like 20 years ago, wasn't it?
Last I checked, Justin Timberlake owned a stake in that. So let that sink in for a minute. MySpace. So this will be 10 years this year, and later in the year, 10 years that we met. I was obviously a single guy. I had dated a girl here in Florida, long gone, but that girl's friend and I hung out after we had split apart, and he and I were out at some bars. We ended up back at his house. We ended up on a computer, and we ended up on MySpace, just sifting through local girls who lived within 5 or 10 miles of us. And that's how I found her. And we talked for 6 months on the computer and on the phone and all over town. And finally, one day she worked at a tanning salon, and her best friend who saw me on MySpace sent me messages and said, "What? Oh, her best friend broke down and needed a ride to work and had no other thing and was just on MySpace." And I was like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Broke down, trying to get a ride to work." I was like, "I'll be happy to take you." And so I took her to work. And then I messaged her best friend. I said, "How are you getting home?" And she goes, "I don't know." And I was like, "I'll bring you home." And I had met her best friend before I met her. And so on the way home from work, her best friend's like, "She's working at the tanning salon. Do you want to go meet her for the first time?" I'm like, whew. And so I went and met her at the tanning salon for the first time. And that was it. We went on a date. And then 10 years later, here we are. We did buy this house together. We've been in this house. Will be 5 years this year that we've owned this house. We had a condo before this for 2 years, which was 7. And then I had my apartment before that for 2 years. So I've been out on my own for 9. I'm 32. So I moved out at like 22, 23 years old from my parents to here. And we live in this area. We've always lived in this little circle where we live. We used to live right down the street. We lived in this neighborhood. It's outside of Tampa Bay. It's about 15 or 20 miles. Takes about 3.5 hours to go 15 miles here. This neighborhood is completely crammed full of people. There's 100 golf courses, 100 subdivisions. All the celebrities that retire to Florida live all around us on the water. There's 300 highways. There's Disney tourists. There's the beach tourists. Where we live is packed. It's an awesome area. There's 1 million thrift shops. There's 1 million Goodwills, but be prepared for traffic and people. So,
and weather. And
weather. Yeah. So just so everybody knows, and I'm going to put this out there because I don't care. We have sun 100 days out of the week, and then we have rain 100 days out of the week, and it has poured for 3 straight days. And yesterday, there's this slow little drip coming in the corner of my garage.
Uh-oh.
So thankfully, I have a father with a general contracting background who's going to come over as soon as it decides to stop raining and climb on my roof and decide what's wrong with my little drip going on to fix it. But it caused a huge problem because I had a little puddle of water the size of a plate in the corner of my garage, which is a real bad thing because I have inventory in the garage, just FYI. So we got to get this squared up with a quickness. But yeah, that's how we ended up in this house. That's how we ended up together. I love Florida. Moving away is something I wouldn't do for an extended period of time. I've had a dream of living in California, but I don't know if that'll ever, the amount of money it takes to live there is bonkers. So
we had a question, a made-up question, but were you wearing a Robert Graham shirt when you went on your first date?
No. So okay, so 10, so it would have been 20. At 22 years old, I didn't know what Robert Graham was, nor could I have even have thought of affording a thrift store Robert Graham shirt at the time. I promise you. First date, oof. I'm embarrassed. Oh, I do know what it was. Olive Garden, her 18th birthday. I was 22 years old. She was 18. We have 4 years difference. So it was Olive Garden, her birthday dinner. First time. Yep.
What do you guys do? This kind of pertains to reselling because I'm a big believer, Casey, into like, taking a break, refreshing sometimes throughout the weekend, or taking a trip. But what do you guys like doing outside of reselling?
We go watch hockey games a lot.
Nice.
We go out to dinners and wherever we go, we watch hockey games. Florida's kind of a place to go, like rooftop restaurants that overlook the beach. We like to go to Dave & Buster's. Until last week, I owned the top score in the football throwing game. Whoever beat me, you're in trouble. I'm going to beat it again. That's kind of our getaway. We don't go on a lot of vacations. Early on in the dating thing, we went on 4 cruises in the first 4 years, so we really did go away. Florida is really cheap to go on cruises. You can catch a 4-day cruise out of Tampa for like $300.
Wow.
So that's a really good reality. If you live in Florida, remember, you don't have to fly. You don't have to pay for parking. You don't have, because parking's like $20 a day. So you're just talking, just for that. You can call a friend, drop you off at the cruise port with your suitcases, and you just go on a cruise for $300, all inclusive, all your food, all your non-alcoholic drinks. You just need a couple $100 for spending money if you really want to do it frugally. So that's what we used to do. Once we got into serious and we bought the house and bought the SUV and bought my car, and mainly bought my car and bought got all the bills we have going now. You don't realize how many bills come with a house when you go from a condo to a house where everything's covered and then you have to pay for everything. Man, there's so many bills that come with a house. But we used to go on those vacations. We used to go on cruises. We went to we're into like ghost stuff and like old town. So like St. Augustine is a big town in northern Florida. It's about a 3.5-hour drive for us, where they have haunted tours and the Ripley's Museum, the haunted Ripley's, the haunted lighthouse. You might have seen them on like Ghost Hunters and stuff like that. And so we like to do that sort of thing, like weekend road trips for 2 and 3 hours. That's fun. Florida's got weekend road trips till the end of time. Orlando, Disney, St. Augustine, Destin, Key West, Miami Beach, all that stuff is weekend trips in Florida. So if you've ever thought about living here,
it's not bad, except there is the occasional weather, but you can get past that. So as you know, Casey, you know this, but Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, I like to invite really cool people that are not YouTube or Insta famous yet on the channel and give them a platform, right? So I throughout my little stint the last 3 days picking up the box truck, went to some of your old videos. Yes. And so the reason I bring this up is I think that you would be a great person to ask this. I'm a big fan of people starting up YouTube channels and just documenting their journey. And even if they don't document it and put it out for the public, they can make it private. And I think it's really cool too, because I'm actually doing this for reselling, but also so Cade and my new little guy can watch their dad when he looked, amazing and young and vibrant. So give me, first of all, tell me, like, rewind the tapes back when you had like 1,000 or 2,000 subscribers to your YouTube channel. Like, did you ever think today that you would be as big as you are? And I don't think big is a good word because you put in the work. I really appreciate your channel, but like, would you ever imagine that now you're going to be, approaching 7,000 subscribers, amazing people following you?
Yeah. So to say I was going to approach 700 would have been a long shot. I do remember. So if you look back at my oldest videos on YouTube, I've got some videos of me flying a little drone around in my lanai. So we're talking 5 years ago when I bought this house. The first month we were here, I bought a drone. This is like the original Phantom, and I flew it right outside my bedroom door, right out there. I flew a drone around. So I had that day maybe like 30 subscribers. And I remember talking, and Kate's like, you waste so much time watching YouTube videos and looking at this people, and what are you going to do with this? Like, are you really going to make videos? And I was like, I'm going to make videos. I'm going to make videos. I'm going to make videos. She's like, why do you want to make videos? And I said, listen, everybody that I do this for, and this goes back to our question, my mom would be like, what do you do? Like, show me what you do. What is it that you do every day? And I'm like, man, I wonder how many people want to know what I do, like would love to see this. And so I was like, I'm going to make a couple videos. And the first few videos got like no views. And one video, and I remember what video it was too. It was where I made a video about me going, at the time I was a big pawn shop buyer, huge pawn shop buyer. I've always bought from pawn shops. They're great until recently. You guys suck at the pawn shops, by the way. But I've always bought at pawn shops, and I made a pawn shop video. And at the time, this was a lot of views, guys. Remember, I got like 250 views in 3 days. I was like, holy crap, people actually want to know what I do. So I posted a few more, and then it just started to roll, and it became, I don't want to say routine, but it became my thing. When I was done selling and sourcing and shipping, I'd come home and I'm like, babe, people are watching me. I need to make a video. They're going to be really mad at me. They're going to be disappointed if I don't make something. And so for a couple of months, I made, say out of 90 days, like 50 videos. Like every other day I was making a video. I'm like, all right, I'll give them a night off. I'll go tomorrow, night off, night. And then at some point it just became every day. And I'm like, this is my new thing. And remember, for 7 months, it took 7 months till I got paid one time on eBay. 7 months, or on YouTube, I'm sorry, 7 months till I got a single payment. I never got paid for a single video, ever. There was no super chats. There was no affiliate links. There was just barely YouTube ads. And I got, in 7 months, I got my first payment. It was $103.
Wow.
So I just worked for what, like $15 a month for 7 straight months. Hold on. Before I go with that further, somebody said, I didn't realize you purchased your BMW. I thought you leased it. Anybody that ever has a question about somebody leasing a car versus buying it, you still have to make the lease payment, because I know a lot of people are confused that like leasing it, you get like some kind of discount. Sometimes it's cheaper, sometimes not. It depends. My car, for buying it and leasing it, were literally within $20 a payment, so I just bought it. But yeah, so Big Drift just commented that. Thank you, bud. I appreciate that. In hindsight, I still would have bought it. I wouldn't have leased it. I leased my last one. Big mistake. But yeah, so 7 years, or 5 years ago, 7 months of I didn't start YouTube. Anybody who ever asked about starting YouTube to make money, even in today's world, Wade will tell you, to get monetized takes a lot of work as it is. I mean, I went 7 months without a single payment on YouTube. Obviously, I was making them because I was having fun making them.
We have a statement from Deb, and she's always in my. Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay. I thought I was reading the one up. Casey, I liked it better when you weren't famous. Now I have to share you with the world.
Ugh. That word makes me really uncomfortable. I don't listen. Casey Neistat is famous, 9 million subscribers. I am not famous, and I don't like to think of myself as famous. I like to think of this community, this group of people who like to buy and sell and do things as a group of people that I'm a part of and that, I'm watched. I've been noticed. On Black Friday, I went through Target and I was shopping and doing some like deal retail arbitrage, and I videoed it. And I'm walking down this aisle of this huge line of people in line to check out at Target on Black Friday at like 6 a.m. And some guy yells, "Yo, that's the rock star." And I was like, oh dear God. Like, I walked the other way. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I turned around and I found him and I shook his hand and I said, "Hey, I appreciate it." It's odd. Like, I don't get noticed at like the mall or a restaurant. I get noticed at thrift stores and that sort of thing. But even that's a little uncomfortable. Like, I love meeting people, but it's so odd when people meet me out in person. I'm going to tell you guys the one place that I was recognized that was insane. We were out at like this across the street from college is this Museum of Science and Industry, and someone recognized me there. And I was like, are you kidding me? At the museum, somebody recognized me. And I just was so embarrassed. If you guys have ever seen me like red in the face, when I go to eBay Open, I expect everyone to know who I am because, well, everyone watches and I'm there to meet with people. But when I'm out at like Applebee's or the museum, I don't expect that. And it's so, to me, even to this day, you guys are all the same as me. Wade is the same as me. He comes online. He puts himself out there. He's a seller. He's a part of groups. He's a part of Instagram. He's a part of YouTube. We're all the same. We're all just out buying and selling. I just chose to produce 880 videos like an idiot as opposed to other people who might keep themselves private. Trust me, it's not all it's broken up to be, I promise you. But I chose to turn on the camera and record what I did every day. You guys are exactly the same. You guys are exactly even with me and with Wade and with everyone else. You just didn't choose to turn on a camera for the last 2 years. We did. And so that, no one's better than anyone else, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I just don't feel like I deserve the public recognition as much as there's a lot of other people who do a lot more sales than us, who do a lot more work. I mean, let's take Megan Mawhinney. You know Megan. You must know Megan. And that girl kills it as a mother of one and pregnant and does 15 grand a month in sales with 2,500 listings. She doesn't have a YouTube channel. She certainly could. She's absolutely worth more than I am in her weight in gold. She just chose not to, produce 800 videos over it. So, somebody just said, well, now everyone's going to be yelling Super Soup Ramen Man.
Hey,
that will make Wade the ultimate famous YouTube guy. I'm not even kidding. I will shout his name on the rooftops of Vegas if we go running through casinos in ramen suits.
We're going to make it happen. We got to make it happen now. I mean, we've had 100 people watching, 100 witnesses. So, Casey, what tips can you give people starting out YouTube channels that are starting out today? Because I think that you gave like a good snapshot of, you can have two of the same people, but one turns on the camera, one doesn't. And guys, real quick before Casey answered this, if you have a YouTube channel, those of you who have never been to my chat before, I am completely fine with you putting your YouTube channel name in the chat. So that way people can subscribe to you and because I love to uncover new YouTubers. So in the chat, if you guys have a YouTube channel name, you're more than welcome to put it in there. Also, guys, if you don't have a YouTube channel, but you would like a YouTube channel or you're planning on starting one, I'm curious to see who's planning on starting a YouTube channel. Put it in chat, guys. I love cross-promoting people. But Casey, what kind of tips can you give people that are just starting out on YouTube?
Okay, 3 biggest tips, and this is me looking in, looking out. And so this will, I think Wade's going to agree with 2 of these, and one I'm interested on your opinion on. So one is be you. Don't lie and don't be fake because people will figure it out. Like, don't try to hide anything. It doesn't mean you have to tell everyone everything, but whatever you do tell, be straight up about it. The internet's a big place. Google's a big place. Just be you. Like, whatever it is you do, whether you have anything to hide or you don't, or you're fake or you're real, people not only can find it, but they can also tell. They can tell when you're on a live video or on a video. They can tell if you're trying too hard. Just be you, and people will follow you for you. If you're trying to build that subscribership and that following, just do what you do. You don't want people to have to follow you for what you don't do anyways, because you're going to be trying to copy that fakeness for the rest of your life. Number 2 is get help. Like, don't be afraid to ask other people like Wade, like myself, like Flipping for a Living's in the chat, like Lindsay, like anybody else who's been there and done that. One tip from us, one suggestion, one question answered could save you a month of time. It could cost you, X amount of dollars to pay for it, or it could get you 1,000 subscribers off of one thing we tell you. Get help and don't be afraid to ask. There's nothing wrong with coming to somebody and saying, hey, I don't know how to tag this, or I don't know how to set up this. I'm going to rag on Wade for a minute. Before this live show, he didn't make the show visible so no one could see it. I had to send him screenshots on how to make the show visible. I'm just saying, Wade, just kidding. He knows what he's doing. He just had a slip. He had driven a long way and he had been away and he hadn't rested. It was just a little. It's okay though. I understand, Wade. So that's number 2. Don't be afraid to ask. And Wade actually knows what he's doing, so you guys can ask him. Seriously. So number 2. And then number 3 is don't try too hard. And what I mean by don't try too hard, there's 2 things on that. Don't spam people's chats. Don't spam posts. We would love to cross post and cross market you guys. Come to Wade, come to me, come to Megan, come to whoever you go to and say, hey, I love what you're doing. I'd love to be a guest on your show. I think we could come and talk to each other. Come in the chat, be active. Don't just try to be like some spammer who's blowing stuff up. Interact with us, talk to us. I love getting messages where people are like, hey, I made this video about X. What do you think about it? Would you take a look at it? Absolutely. If you go in my chat and you just spam it, probably not going to look at it. But if you message me privately or email me and you're like, hey, I love what you do. I made this video. I put myself out there. Can you please give me your opinion about it? Man, I look at those emails first before anything. Trust me when I tell you, if you come to me, I will look at your stuff and I will give you the benefit of the doubt. If it sucks, if it's good, if it's whatever, I respect you for coming to me first, or Wade or whoever it is, and letting us, the fact that you took the time to make a video and put yourself out there is enough for me to respect you right off the top. So that's number 3. Always come to us. Always, try not to be a spammer. Just get our attention and just, a lot of people don't check their message or emails. I do. I'm sure Wade checks all, if not as many as he can. So just come to us. We'll be more than happy to help you. And I can tell you that the help you'll get from us by coming to us will be way better than the help you're going to get by spamming somewhere else. So
I'll give a couple tips too. So as you guys know, you guys have seen me on Casey's channel and other channels. And I feel like it's got to be a give and take situation. You don't have to necessarily give, money to us, but that's, I think the biggest thing is you have to bring value. Because what happens is when I mean value, I mean not any kind of, it doesn't need to be super chats or anything like that. It just needs to be showing that you actually want to do this, because a lot of people, what happens is they say they want to start a YouTube channel up and they never create that first video. And I think putting yourself out there, putting the effort out there, and then, asking for help, we would love to help you guys. I'm a big fan. And Casey's a big fan. I've been in his chat where he's mentioned other YouTubers. And the fact that you guys see my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays videos where I put in links to everybody's YouTube channel, and I do that constantly throughout the chat. I actually learned that from Casey, how he does it, how he shouts out YouTubers, and he'll actually go to their YouTube channel, copy and paste their link, and then throw it in the chat. So guys, if you're needing help, reach out to us, but at least put a little bit of effort into it, because we want to help you succeed. And so start your YouTube channels up and get a first video out there. Ask us how you're doing, and we'll give you some tips and tricks. I think that's really cool information, Casey. And I hope everybody in 2018, it's never too late. Casey, what's your idea on social media? Do you think it's early stages of social media right now?
I think that it's still early to the point of there's no plateau. I think that social media has hit a point where it's the point, the place to turn for viewership, audience, for views, for everything. And the other tip I have is have a cute dog. They kind of work. But go ahead, bud. So I think social media, without social media, no one is no one. Everyone is no one. No one is no one. We are no one. Without Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, I'm nothing. The Rockstar Flipper has the same 50 subs that he had 3 years ago. So I don't want anyone to think that becoming a YouTuber is easy as getting a shout out from Wade. So let's say Wade puts you on the show, or I put you on the show, or whatever might happen. You're going to get a couple hundred subscribers. You'll do fine. You still have to have good content. Not only do you have to get the subscribers and the viewers, you have to bring them back. You have to retain them. Because if your content is no good, or you're not trying, or you're not putting your effort into it, they're not going to come back and watch you again. The other thing is that if you're not using all of the platforms in connection with each other, be it whether you're using one platform or 4 platforms, every platform is a potential gain of a couple subscribers. Maybe you do a video tonight and you put it on YouTube and you get 2 subscribers, but then you take it to YouTube and you post it out to Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and you gain two or 3 followers per platform. Now you've gained 10 tonight instead of 2. So you have to do the work. It is not free money. It is not free views. It is not free subscribers to just post a video and throw it up on YouTube. I'll give you a perfect example. I know a guy with 1 million subscribers who gets 10,000 views a day. 1 million subscribers gets 10,000 views a day. That's less than me with 60,000 subscribers. He doesn't put up quality content. He knows it. He went over to another channel. Just because you have subscribers or followers or people that we send over to you doesn't mean they're going to watch you. Always remember that. You have to put out quality content, and you have to be giving value. Just like Wade said, something that you put effort into that's going to teach people and that's going to be value. That's it.
Guys, Casey said earlier that he was helping me out with YouTube, and that's his finger pointing to settings on this video. That I should point that out.
I had to message Wade and I said, hey, I understand. It's been a long drive.
Yes. All right. So, Casey, tell me, this is a good segue. Tell me how social media has changed your life. And it doesn't necessarily have to be reselling related. It can be, I know that you potentially started out like you were working on maybe a second YouTube to kind of show like fun and just the excitement of things that you do. But how has social media changed your life?
I think the biggest way is that I know, 2 things. I know that people are interested in what I'm doing. And if there's things that I can post, be it like helpful in the reselling community or more helpful in business in general, or just something for their day-to-day life to give them a smile or give them like a perk up, or maybe they're having a bad day or need some motivation. Like, what I post reaches so many people. I see posts that get 1,000 views, 5,000 views, whatever it might be. I know that somebody out of that group of people that watched it might get something out of what I've done. And, maybe it got them to get out of bed to make some more money, or to post some stuff, or to list, or to just take a day off to go rest, to recharge themselves. Something I'm going to post. As you build a following, people start to be affected by that. They start building what they're doing based on what you're doing. And if you're having a bad day, sometimes other people won't be motivated, but if you're motivating, they'll be motivated. So as pressurized as it is for me to kind of keep an eye on what I'm posting, I also know that what is appearing on my accounts is helping other people. And so that's a big thing for me. 7 months without getting paid. And beyond that, to this day, I still make more reselling than I do on YouTube and affiliate links. And it means that much to me because I know that my reselling is my passion. I've always loved the treasure hunt and the thrill of the find and making money. And that I know that the people I'm connecting with love that too. And so I'm able to use my business side to post on the social side to inspire them to do all those things. Now, the fun account was something I needed for myself. And I recommend this to everyone. If you start social media, YouTube, whatever it is, create something for fun, because posting all these posts about, God, I listed 50 items. God, I went sourcing. I'm tired. I'm this, I'm that. That's great for the business and the motivation. But sometimes you got to have this, hey, we went to the beach and had 37 Coronas today and I feel awesome. You got to have those days where you just like take off. Or we went to the hockey game and it was amazing. Like, you've got to separate what you do for fun from business. And you want people to be able to see that as well, to see that there is 2 sides to it. So that's my biggest thing. Like, 2 sides. I started the personal account, and hopefully I want to build it. I want to build it for sure.
So Casey, give me a day in the life of you, buddy. Like, are you an early riser? Are you an early riser? Are you a night owl? Like, once you wake up, you reach over, you turn the alarm clock off of your phone. Like, give me the day in the life of you and your fiance.
Has anyone seen that product that jumps across the room and rolls across the floor and you got to chase it to turn the alarm off? If somebody could buy me 3 of those, it'd be fantastic. So our mailman, we get pickups at our house. I've gone on to USPS and scheduled pickups from now until 2035. So he's here about 11 o'clock every morning. We try to pack our shipments the night before, but stuff sells overnight. So we have to be done packing and shipping by 10 a.m., which means our day has to start at 9. She's better at it than I am. 9 a.m. is more her thing. Me, it's more 10:30. But here's the reason why. So a lot of people operate between 7 a.m., 8 a.m., and like 10, 11 a.m. I don't operate from 7 to 10 very well. And that's just me. It's my schedule. This is part of being an entrepreneur. However, when everyone else goes to sleep at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, I work from 12 to 3. Why do I do this? So a lot of people ask me, why do I put myself in this position? Why not go to bed at 11 and wake up at 8? At 8 a.m., most people are awake. Most. Or 9 at the latest. At midnight to 3, no one's awake. No one.
Silent hours.
Except me. So the reason I like this, no one's messaging me. No one's emailing me. No one is bothering me. I can blow through your emails. I can blow through your messages. I can relist on eBay. I can edit. I can post new listings. Everything I need to do for 3 uninterrupted hours with nothing. I love talking to you guys, but when I'm talking to you in the middle of the day, I get nothing done. Plain Jane facts. I can get more done from 12 to 3 than I could get done from 7 to 3 any day of the week. That's why I'm able to knock out everyone's emails and messages at night. When I tell people I literally clear everything, I clear everything. Period.
So if you guys get messages like replies on his YouTube comments or Instagram, it's probably 3 a.m.
I just choked on my drink because that is my normal morning replies is, when do you sleep? Do you ever sleep? Oh my goodness, you replied to me at 3 a.m. What were you doing awake at 3? Literally every day I get that. I love it though, because I literally knock out everything. She's asleep. She doesn't bother me much because she knows how, when I'm working, not to be bothered, but she's asleep. The dogs are asleep. Little dogs are really big pain in the butts. They got to go outside every 10 minutes. Everybody is asleep. It's fantastic.
So I got an email, Casey, and it said, okay, so you're going to be married soon, right? First, I want to know when, possibly, where, and my last question for this is, any kids in the near future, buddy?
Okay, so I'm going to reverse the questions here. So kids in the future, I would love to have kids. The 2 issues I have with kids. One is my schedule. I could be the late night guy. That'd be awesome. She could sleep. I could be up at late. But I just know that it's going to stop me from doing a lot of things. A lot. Wade can be the prime example of this. Everything changes, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
Tell me what changes first and what changes faster.
Oh, my gosh. Well, I can name off a lot. I'll keep with a few. First of all, I'm blessed. I have an amazing wife. She's watching right now, guys. She does she does so much awesome stuff. And but you drive a little slower. You actually have to worry about car. I mean, I know it's early. They're just, I'll tell you real quick, guys. There's a lot of people save for their kids via college. They put it in college funds or their government, different saving accounts or whatever. I'm doing all that. But one thing too, is when you have kids, the expenses are crazy, but not only do you have the expenses, but I'm also saving. I know in 20 years, cars and vehicles are going to be very expensive. There'll be a lot more technology in them, and houses, the housing market, buying a house is going to be more expensive. So I started 2 funds, a car fund and a house fund that I put money in each month. I'm not going to tell them that, but when they get older, they'll be able to put a big chunk.
They're watching Dad's YouTube channel. They're going to see this.
Oh my gosh. I'll go back and edit this. But you are one, Casey. You are one smart cookie. Seriously, like, what? I want to know how healthy you eat, because every time I see you on your YouTube lives, like, you are extremely witty and with it. I really appreciate that, because I honestly, like, do not blink when I watch you live. I think you have.
Do you want to know the secret? Do you want to know the real secret?
It's not Jack and Coke, is it, or whatever?
No. Why does everyone think I drink Jack? I don't drink Jack. I drink Bacardi Black. Anyways, it's Little Debbie Stacks for breakfast.
Oh my God, is that what it is?
It has to be.
That's funny you brought that up. It's hilarious, actually. So I got yelled at 2 days ago. We went to a storage auction. No, actually, it was last week. What was it? Last week, Tuesday or Wednesday? I can't remember. Anyways.
Wait, is she right there?
No. Who? No. Nobody's here. But we went to we went to the storage auctions, and there was a there was like a 10 by 25, and it was Little Debbie's, like a little. Yeah, it was a full-on storage unit full of Little Debbie's, and I went to take my phone out to take a picture because I was going to throw it on Instagram, and then the auctioneer yelled at me and said, "Hey, you can't take photos." But that's funny you brought that up, because it was a massive warehouse little thing, 10 by 20 of Little Debbie's.
I would have bid whatever it took.
No, it was just, the guy was, it wasn't up for auction. It was somebody that was driving, like, it was like a driver, you know, he had a truck full of Little Debbie.
I would have made him an offer he couldn't have resisted. Trust me.
Yeah, well, I'll remember that if I run across that. But
he could put that listing on eBay, and I would bid whatever it took. No,
it was a lot.
That's my breakfast. No, it's terrible. Don't listen to me, guys. But when you see me in Vegas, if you're there, you'll see what it does to you. Don't worry.
I can just see him, like, walking around and pulling out a Little Debbie out of his pocket, you know. And
what is that show where he pulls the Twinkies out of his thing? Oh, what is that? I'll figure it out later.
I don't know. Twinkies are bad for you guys. Do not eat Twinkies.
So are Swiss rolls. I promise you.
Oh God, we're not going to live past our 40s.
I don't. Yeah. This is bad. Neither of us are even at 35 yet.
Oh, I'm Casey. At least you have more hair than I do, buddy.
Oof,
like
not for long. Have you read my reading mean comments yet?
No, yeah. I haven't.
It has a little bit to do with this going on.
Oh, jeez. Oh man, I don't know.
Don't ever take your hat off for videos, or your reading mean comment section will be identical.
Oh yeah, guys, Casey, I'm sure you had luscious hair in the past, right? What do you miss about having? Was there a point where you had a good amount of hair? Like, what do you miss about having? I mean,
because now I'll tell you, once you start losing more, you have to go get the haircuts appropriately during the appropriate times. Because if you let it get to a point where it's obvious, then you can't have that. You have to go get it cut off, or you have to get something done in order to hide the fact that you don't have it growing properly.
Yeah. Oh, I used to do the little, like, swish up thing. Oh, I wish I had. I don't have my wallet. Oh, actually, I do have my wallet. You guys want to see what I look like?
Oh my goodness. I can't show you guys what I look like. I took a picture 3 years ago for my concealed weapons permit with the FBI here in Florida. The FBI takes your picture, and I had this giant thing of hair, and I had my eyes back, and I had, like, a really sleepy look. And the FBI agent, guys, I kid you not, said, if I didn't know any better and you weren't here to volunteer your picture, I would think you were going to be a mass serial killer in your life.
Dude,
no kidding. The FBI said that.
You guys will not believe what I look like. Here, give me 1 second. Let me just make sure I got my.
I feel like I should get my wallet, but I can't get up.
Okay. That was when I was 19.
Whoa. So yeah, my license is similar. I was like 21. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was only.
It looks like you could be a hockey player.
Yeah, that was only 14 years ago.
Only 14 years ago. No big deal.
Only 14. I don't know, Casey. It's do you feel like you're getting old? Dude, it is horrible, man. It is horrible. But guess what? Age is earned, guys. Don't let us fool you.
Age equals experience. Age also equals yes. Us.
No hair.
Us.
Yes.
We made it this far.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was I was thinking about that the other day. Like I come up with my best ideas in the shower. Don't ask me why. I know.
You just got demonetized from YouTube?
Yeah. Well, I'm actually I'm not actually monetized yet.
Oh, you're not?
No.
Oh, guys,
So,
come on. Wait, do you have the hours?
I'm actually 5 times the hours.
So you're just waiting on the approval.
Yeah. So those of you who are I literally made $6, I think, on YouTube thus far. And it's not a very good ROI because I think I put about 2,000 into it with the camera. Yeah. Oh gosh. And just the Final Cut Pro and the software that I use, that's like $600.
$600. I paid $400 for mine on discount. Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, if you're looking to get monetized, monetization means basically that you can put ads in your YouTube videos. It's not there's other ways you can get paid too, but that being said, they're on a backlog for like the last 5 months now. So what you need basically is 4,000 watch hours, which is new. And then you need 1,000 followers.
This is what sucks. I'm going to cut Wade here because he's going to appreciate this. We can't even super chat him because of the non-monetization.
Yeah. But I'm not, honestly, I'm not, let's be honest, like recouping my money for at least the camera and stuff would be great. But I truly love making these videos. And I want to echo something that Casey said earlier in the video, is the fact that you've got to love doing this. And I think you got to be successful on YouTube. And obviously I'm still in the beginning stages, but I think you need to love making videos and like communicating and talking with people and being a part of the community, because you've got to make the people that's in chat right now feel that they have a voice, even though you're on talking. I think that's one. Number two, though, is you got to integrate YouTube with your daily life. Like, for example, if it feels like a job, you're not going to want to do it because it takes a long time to really get paid on YouTube. So that being said, you got to be authentic and you got to love doing it. Because if you don't love doing it, you're not going to like continue to do it to the point where you can actually make money. So,
and so somebody just said that, obviously for Wade to keep doing it without the monetization. And obviously you love it. I will not super chat Wade in Bitcoin for anyone that knows me well enough. But when he does get monetized, I will go broke in the super chats as soon as he gets that option. He's got an IOU super chat coming from me at some point whenever the monetization comes. Originally, it was the end of May. They have now upped it. Well, I think it started the original end of April, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, it was 2 months even before that.
Yeah, and then end of May. And last I heard was end of June. I posted on a group that I'm a member of called Small YouTubers Boost that has 30,000 members. Very, very few people had been approved since hitting the level that they needed to hit for the hours and the subscribers. But this past 2 weeks, I've had dozens of messages from people who are getting approved. So it is coming. It's getting there. I feel comfortable, but by the end of June that you will be there, probably middle of June. So I think in the next 30 days, Wade will be monetized and be good to go. I reached out at 50,000 subs. You get a YouTube account rep-ish, sort of. I reached out to mine, and he told me that people are getting approved. They hired 90 new employees. 90 new employees. So, and that was as of May 1st to approve accountants. So,
and a little background story. The reason I guess that what was happening was ads, like for example, you're a company and you want to put an ad on YouTube. Ads were appearing on not so friendly YouTube channels. And that's the reason, to put it blankly, that was the reason. And rightfully so, because you don't want, they don't want their brands being recognized with a really weird YouTube channel. So,
right. So, yeah. So the biggest thing was, and to point out what Wade was just, a lot of people may not understand this, but let's say you're Pepsi and you pay YouTube to put your ads out. How would you feel if your ad appeared on an ISIS video or a KKK video? That's what was happening. And so Pepsi got super mad and was like, hey, YouTube, no go. We're not going to pay you for ad revenue unless you guarantee that our advertisements are not going to appear on videos for controversial channels or extremists or whatever. And so YouTube said, okay, we're going to demonetize and we will only approve people that are approved. And so that's what happened. And for good reason. Like Wade said, if you're Pepsi, You don't want your ads appearing on ISIS videos. I mean, are you kidding me? You got an ISIS guy drinking a Pepsi. Nobody wants that. So that's why they had to be very careful. For anyone who doesn't know, the adpocalypse, which was January, February, Google, who owns YouTube, lost 700. I don't even know if Wade knows this. $750 million in 1 month from lost advertisements. They lost advertisers from Pepsi, Honda, Verizon, Amazon, you name it. The top companies in the world pulled out of YouTube advertising for 1 month until YouTube agreed to do the measures that they're doing now. $750 million in 1 month. So you better believe they fix stuff.
Yeah, they want to make sure. So, guys, I've got a few more questions I want to ask Casey. I want to be respectful of his time, but I've got to get these answered before we go. Casey, give me a couple things that you would tell your younger self, before when you started reselling. Like, give me a couple mistakes or a couple things that you would have told Casey, your younger self, regarding reselling, or it could be YouTube, or just the whole gist of it.
One comes to mind is you don't know everything. Listen to what other people with experience will tell you. They know what's good and what's bad and what's to keep in mind. And I think really the biggest thing that I would tell myself is to not give up, that things don't happen overnight. You don't get 60,000 subscribers overnight. You don't sell $300 a day on eBay overnight. You don't sell stuff on Poshmark overnight. Nothing happens overnight. It takes work. You really have to put the time in, whether it's a month or 6 months or a year. Everything takes time. Bill Gates didn't make $100 billion in a year. It took him 30 years. So just remember, everything takes time and you have to put the work in. Always, 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 always.
Okay, and I think that's really good, because like that's one thing that I struggled with at the beginning, was patience. And not because I'm an impatient person, but because like I want to move at a pace that I want to move at. And you've got to realize in this reselling game, because I could have literally went full time 6 months ago, but I wanted to use the time with the full-time job to build up the reselling. And so I really had to stay patient to make sure that I was at that point to where, once I didn't have that guaranteed income coming in, that I can go ahead and do full-time reselling. So patience, I think, is amazing. So Casey, we do this every single live show, guys. And I want to know, and the reason I ask this question is I want people in chat possibly that don't know these other resellers to uncover them, because I'm a big fan of that. So can you name like 3 not so famous resellers that you like watching that people in chat can, search and subscribe to?
Okay, so not so famous. Okay, so Justin Bryant is one. Justin, Bryant, 2 words, Justin Bryant. Justin does videos. He's not a public figure. I've talked to him privately only because of my following. He replied to me. He does videos on apps that make you money. So one of them was an app that you could take surveys. Literally, I did it. I got paid $10. They sent me $10 to my bank account. He does little videos like that teach you all these crazy apps and programs that take you 20, 30 minutes. I think if you went through all of his videos and did all of his little apps and surveys, you can make like $1,000 in a day. You might not be able to do it again, but you could do it once. So I think Justin's really smart. He's come up with all these little things. I love Justin's channel. Really, really well, soft-spoken guy. Monotone, I wish you were a little more exciting, Justin, but your channel's very educational. And he's got 150,000 subs. He and I hit 30,000 on the same day. Wow. That tells you how big he's grown and how popular his channel is. So the second one I think is a big channel. I don't shout her out often. Her and I have little conversations on and off. And she's a Poshmark seller. And I think that she's super smart, and I think that she's got a really good eye for fashion, and she's doing really well on Poshmark. And her name is the Thrifting Debutante, Sydney. Thrifting Debutante. And so she's only got a couple thousand, maybe 1,000 or 2 followers. You can follow her on YouTube and Instagram under that name, Thrifting Debutante, Sydney. Just really good with fashion and really good with women's clothing. A lot of my followers go towards that, and she's huge on Poshmark. She does really well. She's from South Carolina. She's a real Southern debutante type girl, Southern hospitality, the whole deal. I think I'm going to meet her in Dallas at Posh Fest. I'm not sure yet. And maybe she'll be at eBay Open. I haven't 100% confirmed. But she's awesome. And, she's been messaging me on and off for, several months, maybe close to a year now. I don't know. Really, really somebody that you should check out. Thrifting Debutante. Thrifty Flamingo says she follows her on Instagram. So yeah, she's got a really good channel, and she's really sweet and she's really nice. She's younger. I think she's like 26, 27, maybe 28 years old. But really good to follow. Those two for sure. The third one that I really like, she's bigger. I don't think she's famous because no one really knows who she is. But have you guys ever seen the girl that creates robots on YouTube by hand? And she creates like robot that'll wake you up in the morning. Her name is Simone Gertz. I'll copy and paste her name for you guys. This is one of my entertainment value. I do watch a lot of entertainment value YouTube channels. Simone Gertz. So she makes robots by hand in her garage that will feed you soup or wake you up in the morning with a hand that will slap you or will pour your orange juice for you. And she's mid-20s, late 20s. She builds robots out of like erector set parts, and then they do what she wants them to do. They'll brush her teeth for her. She puts her teeth here and they brush her teeth. She was on the David Letterman show.
Wow. I got to get me one of those slap things,
Right. And so she's got over 1 million subs, but no one really knows who she is. Her channel's phenomenal. The other reason I shouted her out, she just got diagnosed with a brain tumor behind her eye, but it's non-cancerous. They're removing it. She's going to be okay. She may or may not have diminished vision in her eye, but she is such a great YouTuber for somebody that's not well known and just does what she does. Everything she does is legit from home, and she builds robots. I'm like, man, I could sell your robots on eBay for like $100,000. I swear. I feel like I want to message her, but anyways,
send her an email.
Yeah, her name is Simone Gertz. It's Giertz. Check her channel out. She's awesome. She is a big YouTuber, but she's just not well known. So for what she does, she should be on like every night show, late show in the world. So those are people that I watch. I watch odd stuff. So
yeah, first of all, that is amazing. I didn't know about any of those people. And guys, I've been seeing a lot of people saying, please smash the like button. I appreciate it if you guys do, not because we don't get paid extra as creators, but it gets us out in the world of YouTube. And I would love for people to see this interview with Casey. So Casey, I've been dying to ask this question, my man, and I want to know, how do you have time for everything that you do? Because I heard that you're starting a podcast up, and explain a little bit about that. You're recently on Poshmark. You're on eBay. You have, a few hundred people Facebook group, right? Only a few hundred, and some of the other things. So give me the whole lowdown on Casey, everything that you're a part of, so people that want to follow you or support you can do that.
Right. So we do. So the 5 things I have right now, I have the YouTube channel that you guys see the daily videos. I have a VIP group on Facebook where we do in-depth one-on-one coaching calls and all that. We have the free Facebook group, 73,000 members, where everyone just joins in the conversation. Everyone helps everyone. I'm starting a podcast. The first episode is June 1st. I'm recording it later this week. It's going to be active on Anchor, Spotify, Google, the Android platform, and iTunes, the iPhone platform. So both platforms for phones, Spotify and Anchor. I will not be paid for the podcast. Podcasts do not pay you. You do not get paid for them. They're simply just to do. I love the idea of a podcast and the audio and the bouncing ideas off of each other. I will have Wade on the podcast by the end of June or July. Nice. I'm creating a schedule for the first month, the first 4 episodes. I'm going to try to start with 1 a week. Maybe I'll get to 2 a week, but for right now, 1 a week. So before eBay Open, me and Wade will do a podcast episode. Those are going to be more business minded, like the mind of an entrepreneur, your schedule, the in and out, all that kind of thing, kind of separate of reselling. It will include reselling, but more I want to talk general business, like what it took for Wade to go full time, what kind of pros and cons he has, the struggles he has, the money he has, the this and that. So everything in general. So that'll be that. There'll be about 30-minute episodes you can download on any platform, free, 100% free, all that stuff. And then, of course, my daily reselling. I sell on eBay and Amazon every day. So, and I will be opening the podcast up to other people because I'm going to need one person every week. So, it'll be something that we can reach out. And I'd love to help Wade. I think you'd be good with your voice on podcasts. I think you should do it. I set it up this week. It took me about an hour. It's very easy. So if you guys want to see Wade on a podcast, comment on his channel. Let him know you want him to do a podcast, and I'll show him how to set it up. It took me 1 hour to set up. It's free. 100%, you're ready to go. Something you would do? Yeah? No? Yeah.
I would actually do a podcast. I've considered it. And I think it would be really cool because podcasts are really like a one-on-one situation with whoever your guest is. And so I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah. So download Anchor if you don't have it. And Anchor is the main podcast site. They put it out to all the others. It is 100% free hosting, free audio. You can upgrade later if you do more than like 10 a month, which most of us wouldn't do. And then you can put it out to all 4 platforms. Again, Spotify, Anchor, iTunes, and Android. And you can have on any guest you want, up to 1 hour podcast length for free. And it took me all of an hour to get it set up, get the artwork, get the description, the whole thing set, done, ready to record and upload. So I'll work with Wade on that. I'm going to have Wade. I think I'm going to start the first episode June 1st. I'm recording the audio next week. I may have Wade as a second or third guest. So that's what we're going to do.
That's awesome. And guys, the last few minutes here, if you have any questions for Casey, please put them in chat now, and I'll have him answer them. And and by the way, Casey's he's a good-looking guy, right? I mean, and
minus the whole hair thing.
I'm curious in chat, and the reason I bring this up is with the podcast stuff, right? How many of you guys are actually watching us, and how many of you guys are actually just listening to us while you're? I'm curious because, I think a good portion of you guys, and the smart thing to do is not watch us, but just listen. So that way, because that's one thing that I struggle with, Casey, is like when I first started, I was watching way too many YouTube videos when I should have just been listening in the background.
Right. So I discipline myself to do that. I listen to a lot of videos now, and I listen to podcasts as well. I listen to a lot of videos, and I don't need to watch them, and I can be sitting and typing and listening and doing what I need to do while I'm listening. So I listen to Wade. I listen to Prof Sales. I listen to Rakin. I listen to myself. I know that's bad, but I listen to myself to make sure I didn't say anything stupid. I listen to a lot of things. So absolutely listen. And I think podcast is a growing platform. Absolutely.
So we have one. What's your long-term goals, Casey?
Ooh, good question. So I would love to grow this YouTube channel to the point where three things that I cover on this YouTube channel: breaking news, things that affect us, updates to the platforms and what you should know about eBay or Amazon or what's changing. And also, of course, anything that's new, that's selling and popular or hot or anything like that. So that's the what's sold and the BOLO list and things like that. Through my VIP group, which I would love to maintain with new sellers or experienced sellers who are growing, I'd love to help those sellers, grow their channels beyond whatever they are now to whatever their goal is. And then the third thing I want through all these new platforms like podcasts and things of that nature is to get people to actually take the leap into full-time or growing a business or beginning a business. Whether you're at Wade's level and you're tossed up that you want to go part-time to full-time, or whether you're just starting off or whatever it is, people like Wade can put information into your head about, hey, listen, I just did it. Here's what you need to expect. You're not going to just wake up tomorrow and make $1,000 and be a full-time seller. Like, here's how you need to prep for it. Here's how you need to transition. And here's how you need to be going forward. And so that's the kind of information I want to provide to people, because a lot of people want to do this. They want to quit paying for childcare for their kids. They want to help their husband make money, a lot of other things. So
I think that's really cool. I want to tell you, like, personally, and I told you this when we were live on your channel, but I really appreciate you for many reasons. So more importantly, when you go live, it's cool on Thursdays, but I really enjoy your videos of news and different things that pop out. because a lot of times you find out this stuff before I do. And I've known so many times where you've created a video, whether it's the shipping or whatever has changed in the industry, both reselling and non-reselling related. And I'm really curious, and I click on that, and it's 99 times out of 10, I've never even heard of it before. So I appreciate you for that, because I love to be up on things, and I feel like you're the one channel that I can really get that information from quick, especially since you're a fellow reseller.
I never thought that I'd be like the updater of news, but I, as a bad habit, don't repeat this, you guys. If you want to, fine, but don't repeat this. As a really bad habit, Kate will tell you, I would read like 50 websites a day. I'd scroll down. She's like, what number website are you on? I'm like, 36, go away. And I would read, The Verge and Engadget and iCommerce Bytes and all these sites, and I would know what was going on. And I'm like, man, I bet no one knows this. No one knows any of this. And so that's where I kind of got that feed from. And so that's what I did. And a lot of people were like, wow, I never even knew this. I'm like, neither did I until this morning. Like I read through the website. So
Thrifty Santa, I love the breaking news videos.
Thank you, Santa. I appreciate that. And Stitch Witch, who I thought you left a little while ago, said, sometimes I mix into political issues. Do I think that helps or hurts you? So I never try to make it political. I know people think like things about taxes and stuff like that is political. It doesn't have anything to do with my political stance one way or the other, or like you're Republican or Democrat or left or right or whatever. It's more of like, hey, this could become a law that could affect us, and we all need to know about it. So I don't ever tell anyone about like, hey, did I vote for so-and-so, or did I not vote for so-and-so, or do I support, or do that doesn't matter, because what matters is the law. Whoever's voting the law in, screw you. Like you could vote for this, that, but whatever. All politicians are liars. Just breaking news on Wade's channel. All politicians are liars. Okay, now everyone knows. What matters to me is what laws could pass and what not pass. So that's all I care about. I don't care who's passing it or what they think, or if it's Giuliani or Trump or Obama none of it matters to me. I don't care. You're all just a person. All I care about is what is the law and how does it affect us. So that's it. If people take my channel as political, so be it. But that's it.
Casey, what advice would you give to Wade at this time during his YouTube and reselling career?
Quit.
Wow.
Quit.
Wow. Quits?
Stop being in the public eye, because people are going to start hating on him eventually. Either quit and not get the haters, or donate to everyone so that no one hates on him. No, my real advice to Wade is to keep doing exactly what he's doing. If you go back to the 3 things I suggested about reaching out to people for help, asking questions, being friendly, being straight up, he's absolutely himself. He's absolutely asking for help and questions and advice. He's asking what we know. He's having us on. He's talking to us. He's coming on our channels, which is important. He's really doing the right things, everything that I would have done 3 years ago if I had known better. And so really good pace that he's on. And the only other thing I would say to Wade is, this you may or may not agree with me, but I absolutely am correct on this. You need to get more content and more things of yourself. So you're recording what you're recording as and hopefully this makes sense. Wade picks a topic and he records it and he puts it out there. I think that you need to catch more off the cuff type things and add more of Wade, the real guy, into it. Does that make sense?
No, actually, it's funny you brought that up, because I have so many videos and different things I want to integrate me as a person reselling. And it's right now, like for the first month, because I actually went full-time April 9th. So it's been a little bit over a month.
A little more a month, yeah.
And it's honestly, guys, I've been slacking, because when I went full-time, I thought that I would do daily vlogs of me just listing photos, the day in the life of Wade, to put it out there, not just for reselling, but for just my journey. And I had been slacking on that. So I made a commitment yesterday when I was driving, because you have a lot of time to think when you're driving, and especially 9 hours. And I was like, I need to I'm going to continue to do these Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, because they are extremely important to me. But I also need to bring in a little bit of dynamic with me, because you guys may not know me as a reseller, or you may want to see like the behind scenes of what I do, because right now I'm just this guy behind a bunch of tubs. So I'm glad that you brought that up, Casey, because I definitely do need to make that adjustment. I think
so those two things, behind the scenes is huge, and also just like random bloopers or videos or oops, I didn't mean to say that, or oh my god, the tub fell, or like, hey, you know, we've been listing for 6 hours, we're going to dinner, you guys come along with us, like we're done with the listing, that was the first half of the video, like here's what we do afterwards. Mix that stuff in, it makes you more relatable, trust me.
Yep. And guys, I would be lying to tell you that I haven't reached, you know, there's been many times I've had to reach out to Casey in regards to the YouTube channel for supports. And so I, bottom of my heart, I appreciate everything he does. I think that, you know, one thing that I can understand is like a few months ago, you know, and when I say a few months ago, I really started putting out videos about 4 months ago. Before that, I only had like 8, right? And now I've got 50 something. So I can kind of relate to both sides, like the person that wasn't really big on YouTube, and then now I can relate to like being on YouTube, and I can relate to being that, you know, that, and I can also like kind of relate to like watching people that had and has a lot of subscribers. And I can tell you that it's really funny to see like people, their perception when you have a lot of followers, a lot of subscribers, is the fact that, you know, there's some sort of complex with that person, or, you know, they're hard to reach, or, you know, and that's like first things that pop in your head just because they have a lot of following. But in all reality, you know, and Casey can relate, it's a lot of work to do this, like to put yourself on the internet. And not to mention, you know, I wasn't big on, you know, putting myself on the internet, you know, a few months ago, or, you know, a year ago. Like I was kind of like a little bit of seclusive, you know, and I think Casey, you kind of said that. Yeah, I wasn't like, I mean, I would put myself on the web, but I was, you know, definitely like a little bit, I wouldn't say shy, but, you know, a little bit seclusive in that matter. So putting yourself on the web, I think, is a big proponent of reselling. It's made me accountable. And I think I'm a lot better person because of it. I met so many really cool people. And I see the love when I go in your chat, Casey. Everybody goes in there every Thursday and talks with you, and you know a little bit about their story, and they know your story. So I just want to say I appreciate everything you do for the community live, and everybody that's watching, guys. I'm sure that you've got some sort of nuggets from Casey, and so I'm really appreciative of you, and I think that everybody in the chat is as well. So
I'm just gonna put it out here: when Wade passes me in subscribers, make sure you guys thank Wade. And he remembers me then, but his live shows are doing awesome. I'm going to recommend to him, some of you guys that are smaller people, like Wade does the shout outs and the videos for you, those of you that are building. Let me know if you don't get a hold of Wade, or you don't reach out to Wade, reach out to me, especially my followers. If you're in here from the link, let me know. I'll be happy to recommend you to Wade. That's his thing. I want him to recommend you guys. At some point, he's going to have like 10 billion subscribers. You guys are going to want to be on that list. So get your name in there. Let me know. I'll let him know. Me and Wade text with each other, so I have direct connecting, you know, right to him. And I'll tell him, hey, listen, Billy Bob is awesome. He's doing a great job. You better take a look at him. So feel free. I answer everything at night. It's almost my time. Y'all are almost ready to go to sleep. So just FYI, except all y'all out on the West Coast, y'all will be up for a while.
Still though, I think it's, you know, guys, if you are looking to go on my show, just like Casey is now, I would love for that. Just email me, reach out to me on Instagram. I'd love to get you on here, guys. I don't care if you have 1 subscriber, 10 subscribers. That's the whole point of it, is to get you guys on. A lot of people I do these interviews with have never even been live, or never even did a video on YouTube. And now they've got their own YouTube channels. So
that's crazy.
Well, that being said, guys, I just want to say it has been one amazing interview. We're borderline 2 hours here, which is almost, I think, the length of the Titanic. I could be wrong. Except I don't see Casey like floating on really icy water, and I'm still, you know, doing fine. But
Wade's in the rescue boat. Just
no, oh my gosh. I was just thinking, I just told my mom the other day, because guys, you know that they recreated the Titanic, right? The ship, like they pretty much did everything to the T, and it's going to be, I think, what is it? Have you heard about that, Casey? Like it's going to be, no. So Google it, guys. They created a ship just like that Titanic. In fact, all the workout equipments, they did a replicas of the exact workout. Yeah, it's crazy. Oh yeah, it's gonna
I'm
be.
a huge history buff, and I don't know this, so there you go, guys. There you go.
Yes. Google that. It is amazing. Wade is Leonardo DiCaprio. That guy he is way more amazing than I am, and he has got so much luscious. I mean,
he's got the locks going on.
Yeah.
He's got more hair than we have. Trust me.
Yeah, and he's got a lot more money to put hair wherever he wants.
That's true too. He does have the money to replace whatever's missing.
So that being said, guys, I would love to have Casey back on my show. I think there's a lot of value that he can bring. I enjoy interviewing people like Casey because I can just sit back and relax and do nothing, and he runs the whole show for me.
Please be relaxed if you ever talk to me or meet us in Vegas. When you meet us, don't be nervous. Just hang out. Speaking of another show, that was my thing for you this time in Vegas. Let's do a live show, and this was my plan since we're going to be in the same room. Bring your computer, bring your camera if you can. I'll have this mic. I might have a second mic on me. Either way, let's do a dual show where we're live on both of our channels at the same time. Yeah. We'll set up one day during the week in Vegas. We'll sit our computers, because look, my computer just kind of sits here, and then we can just sit them side by side and have the cameras pointed, and we can sit on both of our channels live and broadcast from eBay Open 2018 in Vegas together. So let's plan to do that. Let's do it.
Let's do that. And I want to say to Kathy, I know you're not watching this. Hopefully you rewatch it, but Coates, I really appreciate the fact that hopefully we can get you as, the winner to Vegas as the free ticket for eBay Open. And I can't wait to meet Casey and everybody that's going. I know that we asked that question, who's going, and there was a ton of people flooded in chat said they're going. So the whole world is going. This is a big year, guys. And I stress this enough. Like, I don't want you guys to get yourself down if you're not going. Just correct it for next year. So just try to save as much as you can for next year. Because I'll be honest, like last year, I really wanted to go. And, I had the means to go, but I didn't, and I regretted it. And I kind of let that, when you're watching people in Vegas having a good time at eBay Open, don't let yourself get down. Just know that next year and the year following that, and going forward, there's going to be more eBay Opens. So just plan for those and work your butt off to do that. Right, Casey?
Good job. Way to end it. Motivation for people for next year.
Yes, motivation. All right, guys, I'm gonna let you go on with your day. Casey, any other words of wisdom before we go?
Nope. Make sure you guys tune in. Live shows keep with us all the way through eBay Open in July. We will be with you guys. Make sure Wade gets to 20 billion subscribers, like I said. I'll put this video out to everyone who's watching it, rewatching it through my channels. Thank you guys for spending the time with us. Congratulations to Kathy. We'll get in touch with you. Hopefully you see this, and have a wonderful evening, everyone.
All right, guys, hit the like button. Subscribe to Casey's channel. If you're watching this after the fact, his link will be below. And you guys have one awesome night. See ya.